Being a DS game, there is no way for me to really record pictures unlike the PlayStation 3 when I used a Hopage, so instead, here is some nice, cute little pictures for you to look at. In a place called Evershade Valley, there is a crystal moon in the sky that has some sort of magical power that keeps all the ghosts sparkly happy nice to everyone, allowing Egad to study them safely. Then one day, an evil king smashed the crystal moon, thus casting an evil fog over all of the valley and allowing him to telekinetically go into the ghosts' minds and turn them into dicks. So, now it's up to you to find the pieces of the crystal moon, purify them, and turn all of the ghosts back to being happy, friendly ghosts, because we all know that as long as you have a crystal in the sky, all the ghosts are friendly and not just Casper. As you play through the game, you'll find out that not only is the king controlling the ghosts against their will, but he has found a magic spell book, which has taught him a scary spell that allows him to corrupt crystals. Not only that, but anything the corrupted crystals touches also becomes corrupt, meaning that he can force ghosts to touch the corrupted crystals, which in turn will make them corrupt, which means they'll be a lot stronger. This just means that they have more HP, and makes them a bit more tedious to take out. As for the ending, I'm not going to spoil it, but if it is not a reskin of what you're seeing now, then I would be surprised. The dark moon is restored, it flies up into the air, and starts glowing, and, well, you get the idea by watching this. And for the more astute of you, you may have noticed that I have been using My Little Pony pictures rather than pictures from the game. If you are even more clever or have watched the show, then you will notice that the story I have told you is pretty much a copy-paste of that story, just replacing the ponies with ghosts and the setting with a haunted valley opposed to— No, wait a minute! When Twilight arrives on the train! They're in a haunted valley and they have to run from an evil smoke that's chasing them and get to the starting area of the Crystal Kingdom to learn what's going down and then fix it all. Still, Nintendo, I don't mind. Better copy off Lauren Faust than get a team of ninjas to write horrible Metroid fanfiction. Moving on, the gameplay is mostly the same as before. There is a mansion filled with ghosts, you have a vacuum cleaner, and fuck ghosts. But it does seem that it would have made more sense to put this on a full console rather than a portable one, with a nice sensible, in quotations Nintendo, controller, as it has a C-stick. As, remember how you had to rotate the C-stick to capture the boos? Well, the C-stick doesn't exist on 3DS, so without one, it kinda causes a few problems, but nothing you can't get over. But there is one thing I can't get over, and that's fucking motion controls! Through the mansion, there are balance beam sections where you have to use the motion controls to cross them, keeping the DS upright and tilting it slightly left and slightly right to keep your balance and not fall off. But this is way harder than it sounds, as while it does say tilt only very slightly, I found tilting very slightly sent Luigi flying off in one direction, and crossing them was almost impossible and I always lost at least half my health crossing them, so fuck motion controls. As for the other gameplay mechanics, after noticing the story was a reskin of My Little Pony, I can't help but feel that Nintendo was looking at other people's homework over their shoulders. The first big one is that in later mansions you must solve puzzles using portals, and while I would let this go, Egad literally states that while he did not make them, he found the blueprints in an abandoned lab. If I were GLaDOS, I would be pissed. I'm not too bothered about this though, as the portals in this game are good and they can lead to a lot of creative puzzle solving and a lot of creative puzzles themselves, and they are still pretty fun, so I'll give that a pass. And speaking of creative, this does lead me on to the boss battles, which again are very creative, as all the boss ghosts possess stuff, leading to fun exciting boss battles, which can range from a giant spider to a flight of stairs to a full-on motherfucking clock tower. But then there is a boss in the mines, and this is the most fucking retarded boss ever. Again, not spoiling anything, but they might as well have just called it Modern Warfare 3 FPS Luigi, with the rail-shooting turret that can overheat and the boss regenerates its health. God damn it, Nintendo, one or the other. You either have the turret with infinite health and the boss regenerates, or you have the boss not regenerating health and the turret with limited ammo. One or the other. If you put both together, it made me do it for over an hour and I got really frustrated, so get ready for frustration if you buy this game just on that fourth boss, but all the other bosses are okay. So I'm again, not too bitter about that. But it does seem that while this game is a very nice steak pie, the few minor complaints that are popping up seem to be putting a dead rat in this rather enjoyable steak pie. There is also one other big thing, and that is the tricky tower, which involves going upstairs to floors and doing something. I can't really tell you because it's fully multiplayer. So here's a question for you, Nintendo. If it's fully multiplayer and not accessible to me unless I have a friend round or I buy the game for Luna or a ghost with a 3DS randomly flies by, then why is it in the main mission room, and why does EGAD keep banging on about it, saying I need to go to the Tricky Tower, I should get training in the Tricky Tower, and all of the other things he says about the Tricky Tower, and I can't go there? There is one last thing I feel I must also bring up. If you're currently now watching this on an iPhone and you're in a game store and you've picked this game up and you're about to buy it from the salesman, please listen to this statement as it may sway your entire decision on whether to buy the game or not. And that statement is, it's very kid-friendly. No, seriously, any of the dark factors from the first game have completely been dubbed down for the little bastards. Even the dark rooms are not all that dark, as they have bright wallpaper, and really, once the lights come on, I couldn't hardly tell the difference. The ghosts are also very cartoony and kid-friendly, like the fucking dog, who by the end of the game, after doing the same mission 3 fucking times, you'll be glad to see that little shit imprisoned. So, taking a darkish game and brightening it up for the kiddies is of course bad. And it shows that dead rat in the otherwise good steak pie seems to also have been filled with some kind of kid-friendly poison, making this otherwise good steak pie into an average steak pie that you would get in your local dingy back alley pub. The drinks are nice, but we don't talk about the food is kind of how I feel. So, all in all, Luigi's Mansion 2 Nightmare Moon is okay. It's average. It's worth picking up to kill some time. It's certainly better than copy-pasting the same game onto a new console, and while it's not the best thing Nintendo has ever made, it's certainly not the worst thing Nintendo has ever made. And I think Nintendo's cocaine bucket is starting to run dry, and they're finally realising all of the shit that they have been making and started back on the path to making good games again. So thank you, Nintendo. You have taken your first steps back to greatness. Now let's see if we can take those first steps and turn them into a full-on walk to the 7-Eleven by getting Rare's IP back and making Banjo 3. You know, that game we've all been waiting for 10 years! Also, I'd just like to point out that I am on vacation right now, and I will be bringing out my new Let's Play when I am back. Not to spoil it, but here is a black and white image of just my face, so you can say I now have the title card, and I didn't want to show off the colours because that may have also given something away, so you're looking at the black and white one. But it's there, it's done, it's ready to go. I just don't have a console to record it on, so I will see you all with that when I get back. But for now, while I'm on vacation, here's the Luigi's Mansion 2 review, and some kind of Terraria Let's Play, which I don't know how long I'll continue for. But there you go. So I will see all of you next time.